I made these peanut butter protein balls with a secret ingredient. Don't they look good? And they can be frozen too, so you can make them ahead. Isn't that great? Well, the secret ingredient is, of course, beans, because this is part of Bean Bonanza, where in May, every weekday, there'll be a different video with a bean recipe. It might be for a main dish, a side dish, a dessert, or even just a surprise. We have Tulilu Creates, Hamakua Homestead, In the Kitchen with Karen, Linda's Pantry, Mennonite Farmhouse, Pike Creek Farm, Sutton's Days, The Fermented Homestead, Umri Prepper Potpourri. So I hope you're watching every video. And the video I'm going to be sharing with you today is also a shelf-stable recipe. And we are no longer doing the shelf-stable collaboration on the first Tuesday of every month. However, when any of our channels actually make a recipe that's shelf-stable, we're going to indicate that and have a printable so you can still keep putting recipes in your shelf-stable pantry cookbook. Now, many of us keep dried beans in our emergency food storage or just because we like the cost savings. I mean, look at this. This recipe will use the equivalent of 1 can of chickpeas, and my Walmart sells the Great Value canned beans for 78 cents and a pound of dried beans for $1.38. And since a pound of beans is equal to about 3 cans of canned beans, this is a savings of 32 cents a can, or almost 50%. So it's a good idea to keep dried beans in your pantry and your emergency food storage. Today, we're going to use garbanzo beans, or chickpeas as they're usually called, and I'm going to show you how you can cook them in your Instant Pot rather than soaking them all night long. Just a little bit quicker. And of course, if you don't have dried beans, you can just use 1 can of garbanzo beans or chickpeas from the store. That will work just fine too for this recipe. Now, I'm not pre-soaking the beans. That would allow them to go a little bit quicker, but I got time. Pour your beans into the Instant Pot, and then you're going to want to add 7 cups of water. Put on your lid, and then you're going to set it on manual, high pressure for 60 minutes. But if your beans are older, you might want to cook them a little longer. The older your beans, it might be the longer you have to cook them. It's done, but you're going to wait 10 minutes before you release the pressure. Once it passes 10 minutes here, we can do a manual release. And now you have to drain your beans. We only need 2 cups of beans for this recipe. Look at how many beans this made. What am I going to do with the rest of them? Well, I am going to use my air fryer and make up a crispy, spicy chickpea snack. If you're interested, check out this video. Now let's get started. The ingredients for this recipe are 2 cups cooked chickpeas, or 1 can drained, 1/2 cup peanut butter, 1/4 cup maple syrup, or you can use honey, 1/2 cup oats, either quick or rolled, 1/4 cup Heath milk chocolate toffee bits, but you could also use mini chocolate chips or peanut butter chips, or none at all. And it's optional, but I like to roll them in chocolate sprinkles, but you can also roll them in cocoa or confectioner's sugar. Now we need to mash the chickpeas well. I'm using a potato masher, but you can use a food processor if you have one. I just didn't want to get my food processor out. And then it's best if your peanut butter is runny. Mine wasn't, so I added the maple syrup to it and put it in the microwave just to heat it a little bit to make it a little runnier. So we want to stir that into our chickpeas well, and then we're going to add our oats and chocolate chips or whatever else you are putting in these protein balls. Mix it up well. Now, I just love these cookie scoops. It comes with 3 different sizes. I'm using the smaller size, this size, and even bigger. And of course, this will make a great ice cream scoop too. So if you're interested in knowing where I got them, I have the Amazon link down below. So now I'm going to use a cookie scoop to scoop up the dough and roll into a ball. But you could use a tablespoon too, whatever you want to. Just make sure you have nice balls rolled. Then you can roll them in cocoa, confectioner's sugar, ground peanuts, or in my case, in little chocolate sprinkles. Just adds a little pizzazz to your protein balls. And then I suggest refrigerating for an hour before eating. Makes them firmer. And if you want them at a much later date, you can always freeze them. Now, let's do a taste test. See, inside. I told the kids it was cookie dough without the eggs, and they really liked it. I never did tell them that it had beans in it. These are great for a high protein snack. And if your kids don't like beans, this is a way to sneak it into their diet. So I hope you've enjoyed this installment in Bean Bonanza, and you're watching every single video in May. I gotta finish these.